What can I do for you?
Do you play dice?
Would you like to join us?
Anyone else I can challenge to a game around here?
2 mages, but they refuse to play us.
They only play masters, but beat us, and who knows?
Sure.
Who would you like to play? You win.
Care to play dice? Congratulations. You've won.
Thanks for the game.
How can I help?
I want to play dice.
I could use some coin. Shall we play now? You've won.
Who can I play next?
My apprentice. She's a mere learner in magic, but she's a true master in dice.
Yes.
Let's play dice.
Shall we? You fully deserve this coin.
Who else can I play?
The incredible Lockhart.
Sounds arrogant. Where do I find him?
Somewhere around the market, most likely.
Thanks.
It's you! Roach may trust you, but I'm not so sure. What do you want?
The mages will want to get as much as they can out of this summit, and monarchs don't generally like others dictating terms. This may end in a row.
There will be no row. The mages now rely on the mercy of the northern kingdoms. The amphitheater itself is also protected by an anti-magic shield, like the one used at Thaned. The times of mage impunity are gone. They will be shown their place.
Impressive summit, but not all the players have their representatives here.
The most important do. The mages thought about inviting everyone, but time is short.
I've seen a Nilfgaardian delegation.
Scandalous, as I see it. They're here at Henselt's bidding. Before long, he'll be inviting them to his war councils.
Representatives of the Council of Regents. Did any come with you?
Only Baron Kimbolt and Count Maravel. The other 5 remain in Vizima. It seems that save Baron Orval, most spend their time trying to devise a way to undermine Anais' claim to the throne.
Kimbolt and Maravel. What's their stance?
Well, they've taken opposing positions, as one might expect. The Baron believes Anais' origin, if you will, stands in the way of her taking the throne. though it's common knowledge that he would simply prefer to seat himself on it. Whereas Marival has said that Foltest's children have his full support. He stated this in Vizima before the entire council. One thing is certain, words come cheap. Those two may change their minds in a flash if Anais is found and recovered.
Baron Ravenin Kimbolt, I presume.
Does that Witcher's Code of yours exempt you from court etiquette? Does it grant you the right to speak to the Highborn without being asked to do so?
I guess I don't need to introduce myself.
Oh no. I know who you are. Geralt of Rivia. Foltest's other favourite hound alongside Roach. Not purebred. They say you bring trouble wherever you appear.
What'll happen to Temeria?
Is that a note of nostalgia I hear in your voice? Remembering your service under Foltest, or recalling some romp in the sack with the royal advisor? Whichever it may be, spare me your courtesy. You don't care a lick about my country.
I know what I care about. That's why I asked.
Understand this. I'm talking to you only out of respect for Foltest, out of remembrance for him.
Haven't seen much evidence of that remembrance, aside from the rewards on my head.
They'd have hanged you if not for the testimony of little Anais.
So the girl finally talked.
Whoever that monk was, to me, he was just like you.
I take it you sit on the Council of Regents.
Not for much longer.
Why's that?
The council will become obsolete. Temeria is a country one rules with a crown on one's head, or not at all.
A lot of people are out to don that crown.
But few have the right. As Foltest's cousin, the throne should be mine.
Or the royal daughters, Anais Lavalette's.
Dark will be the day when we are ruled by bastards. The nobles have decided to share power.
You said it yourself, Baron. In a crown or not at all.
Temeria will be divided into provinces. A shameful end to the monarchy. A shameful end to the country.
They're gonna re-establish the conclave. I didn't expect so many Temerians to show up for the ceremony.
We're not here for some magic pomp and circumstance. This is about celebrating a new order in the northern kingdoms.
Is that so?
Your kind doesn't understand this yet, but your life is about to change. Forever.
My kind?
Wanderers and scoundrels. People, and I use the term loosely, without loyalty or country. People for whom coin is the law and everything's for sale.
Geralt of Rivia, I am delighted to see you among the living and the free.
Are you serious, Count?
Such an injustice to lock you up without so much as a hearing, and then the beatings, the torture. It's barbaric, I tell you, based on pure prejudice, the presumption of guilt.
Actually, if I'd seen what they saw.
But alas, such is my homeland, filled with fear and thus ruthless, cold as stone, dark and severe in aura and mindset.
I suppose there's some truth to that.
A response at once cautious and reasonable. Admirable qualities in and of themselves, positively required in your profession.
If you say so.
But tell me, Witcher, what brings you here? Are you nipping at the heels of Foltest's killer, close to beheading the wretch, as I expect is your style? Do you require my assistance?
I just have some questions, Count.
Well, ask away by all means. I am finding you a skilled, if slightly reticent, conversationalist.
What brings you to Loc Muinne?
Concern for my country, Witcher, and an express and somewhat surprising request from Constable Natalis.
Surprising. How so?
Surely you jest, Witcher? Truth be told, few could marshal loyal forces matching mine on such short order, Baron Kimbold excepted. Yet, though I very much held Foltest's trust, I cannot say that many of my Temerian peers feel the same way.
Why do you suppose that is?
They resent me. I share neither their customs nor their beliefs.
I've got to say you stand out, Count.
I'm flattered, I suppose, but what specifically do you mean?
I haven't quite put my finger on it, but take a look around. Would you say you resemble your countrymen?
I thank the gods I do not. It is because I love my homeland that I am the first to note its faults, and they are many.
Care to elaborate?
Hypocrisy, superstition, lack of learning. Need I go on?
If you wouldn't mind.
Take you witches, for instance. The gods know we suffer a plague of beasts, pre-conjunction, post-conjunction, magically bred and sprung from rotting marshes and the dark abysses of our land.
No such thing as pre-conjunction creatures.
You bite unnecessarily. We have but one remedy for this plague, dwindling in numbers as it may be, yet it is a remedy we revile. You are shunned, spat upon, turned away on stormy nights. Would you say this is reasonable?
It's the way of things.
Spoken like a true representative of a dying species.
Bear, crow, summit white.
How are things?
You're either very unobservant or very rude. I thought I'd meet some of my colleagues from years past, chat with them and reminisce, but they all turn their heads away and treat me like air.
Mages aren't known for being polite.
You're telling me. They threw me out of Bannard the first chance they got. Must have beaten the Chancellor one too many times. They've all forgotten me, and I believe I've had enough. I'm getting rid of the grimoires and amulets. I don't want anything to do with mages.
I'd like to cast an eye at those if you don't mind.
Sure. Cast both if you want.
Anything on the Wild Hunt in your collection?
I'd avoid the topic altogether. Nothing good has ever come to those who have delved.
I'll take my chances. I need to know why the Wraiths carry off youths. What happens to them?
This knowledge has never been recorded, which does not mean it cannot be acquired.
Well, I'd like to acquire it.
In the chasms beneath Loc Muinne, there is a sword that once belonged to an elf from the parallel world.
And nobody's gone to look for it?
There are mages who seek it still, but the sword is well concealed. They say he who handles it will understand the essence of the Wild Hunt. Could that be true, though?
I'd like to play dice poker.
Want to play now? You just ended a lifelong winning streak.
And you owe me some coin. Or you can pay in kind.
What's your preference?
Show me what you got.
I can give you runes to enhance your sword, an element that'll reinforce your armor, or one of the designs from my collection.
My armor could stand to be improved.
As you wish.
Hell's bells, who do we have here? Witcher Geralt, the seeker of square coins.
What do you want?
Last time Zivik stuck his nose in. This time, he's not around. Fight! I'll get you, snitch.
Don't try this again. Let me guess.
Behold, the mighty Numa, and I am his apprentice.
Way to spoil my fun.
The mighty Numa breaks the necks of bulls, bends iron bars, defeats everyone. Numa. His secret lies in the mushrooms and herbs cultivated in Ilanda and picked in the mornings by virgin priestesses. They can be yours for a very reasonable price.
You lose something.
Are you the mighty Numa?
Who's asking?
Someone who wants to see if your nickname suits you.
Then come to the circus and watch me rip off the ploughing chains wrapped round my body.
You've got a big mouth.
And you've pissed off the mighty Numa. Put down your coin and give me your hand. Come back when you have the coin. You lose something.
I'm looking to earn a few orens.
You can only lose them with the mighty Numa.
You a thief?
I don't have to steal. I kick everyone's ass when it comes to arm wrestling. Care to try me?
I've always been the curious sort.
My little ace tits! No one's ever beaten me!
There's always a first time.
If I give you something, will you keep this to yourself? The circus finds out I lost, they'll can me. The mighty Numa must be invincible. Take this and keep your trap shut. Please.
All right. Thanks.
What do you want?
You're not in the Kedweni camp?
Those Redanian pigs tricked us, as usual. They took the best buildings, leaving us the rat-infested ruins. It's better out here in the square. A right good show. Messengers running back and forth, delegates grinning at each other while thinking of slitting each other's throats, and lots of gold changing hands. A lot of armed men around. The kingdoms are trying to look menacing. People like me'll soon have work to do.
Nice to meet an optimist. Really raises the spirit. The mages are making a country fair out of this summit.
They're parasites who'll stop at nothing to get into the king's treasuries. Hence it'll quickly beat it out of their heads. He doesn't like mages standing up to him. He'll tell them to stuff those treaties up their arses. You know they want to appoint royal advisors.
They're also going to discuss what to do given the assassinations.
Aye, the new world order. You know the drill. I see all those cowardly, petty knights and bloody mages and wonder where the human race is going.
Forward. Blindly down a steep slope. But for now, the clip of air is more fun than it is terrifying.
Renounce magic, I tell you! Shatter your
I'm Geralt.
Brass of Banard. I remember you from Thaned. I believe I saw you in Oxenfurt, too.
Seems we only ever meet on Elvenland.
Indeed. But I suspect you're not here to chat about elven ruins.
On the contrary, I find elven ruins interesting.
Do you really? Elven works are not half as interesting as gnomish ones.
But even ruined, Loc Muinne is impressive. It must have been beautiful in the times of the First Conclave.
Everything was better before the war, as they say. The sources, those children that old Geoffrey Monk brought here to train in the magic arts, must have walked around gaping at all they saw.
Somehow I just can't imagine Hen Giddimdeath as a small gawking boy.
You met him? Ah, right, on Thaned. His death was a terrible loss. Terrible. You see, Geralt, everyone complains about how the world is taking a turn for the worse.
Values are being compromised. The small is dislodging the great.
Exactly. But the events on Thaned truly marked the end of an era. The world grew up, losing its virginity in a rape.
What use are masters of magic and legendary heroes to a grown-up world?
They're of no use. That's the point. Today, people manage perfectly well without mages, witches, and heroes.
Yet not everyone understands that, and not everyone likes it.
You're so clever, you'll get in trouble. We'd best change the subject.
Actually, I'm here because of your weapon expertise.
I'm no expert.
You're the best swordsmith among mages.
I'm more interested in the cultural relics of other races, actually.
I'm going to need a solid cultural relic in my hand.
I guess the circumstances require haste.
I'm interested in the Wild Hunt. Any chance you know something about it?
No, birds are not exactly my speciality.
Thanks. I came upon this strange manuscript. Think you can help me with it?
Why, yes. I don't believe I'm mistaken. Do you realize what you hold in your hands?
A mage told me it's the key to an ancient ritual that summons evil specters who otherwise wander the earth doing no good. Specters apparently willing to make deals.
Well, the mage was full of bilge, so to speak. You see, the Vrans knew well how to secure their treasures. It is said that in some places they left sentries. Now, these sentries come to life when someone draws near who possesses a scroll inscribed with words of power, like this one is. Provide the correct password, and the doors to a hidden vault open before you.
So how do I use the manuscript?
Nothing comes free, my friend. You needn't even know the meaning of the words for the sentry to let you pass. You must merely know the sequence in which the password must be read. In this case, we have a sentence. Nana kanpa zi udu ya lala gat exa nana zi udu zi gat kanpa nibit. Nana kanpa means forge ahead, while nana zi means backtrack. In summary, should you encounter a sentry who reacts to this scroll, you must first answer with the words that follow Nana Kanpa in their given sequence, then omit Nana Zi, and conclude with all the words that follow this phrase, but in reverse order.
Not that complicated, actually. Thanks for your help.
Turn away the black cat! And the bat, the owl, and the rat.
Witcher Geralt, we meet again. Who would have known? I thought cats always landed on four paws, but I see wolves sometimes do as well. I trust you have not come to demand my surrender again.
I've come to find the Kingslayer.
And once again don the robes of a hero? Enjoy the fame?
I don't know about robes, Arian, but something along those lines.
Well, as much as I detested Foltest, Temeria now trembles in its foundations, and I sincerely hope Natalis succeeds in salvaging it. Otherwise, the barons will tear the country into bits.
Shouldn't you be in Vizima? I heard things got a bit chaotic after Foltest died. It might be a good time to try your luck, especially if you've got royal blood in the family.
Clearly, you do not understand what will happen here, Geralt. The re-establishing of the Council and Conclave is but a pretext. The North's most important rulers have come here not to reconstruct some assembly of mages, but to seal the balance of power and establish spheres of influence. Only fools and cowards have remained at home.
The last time we saw each other, you had locked yourself in a cellar full of oil that you had set on fire.
I grew up wandering the nooks and corners of that fortress, Witcher. I know passages even the mice have not heard of.
For a long time, a lot of people thought you were dead.
Well, that would make two of us, am I right?
So, even the
Witcher, interesting.
Nice place. Has character, tradition. You're not bothered by all the blood that was shed here?
Thaned was also built by the elves. I know Loc Muinne's history. We will return it to its former glory.
I'd like to see that.
We're merely waiting for the treaty to be signed. The new council must act lawfully from the start.
Why aren't you restoring your palaces on Thaned Island?
Only the Academy at Aratuza Palace continues to operate there. The other palaces can't be restored. The magical resonance is too great. Besides, Loc Muinne has greater potential. It's full of ley lines and natural sources of the power. This city positively vibrates with magic.
Then I'm glad it'll be in the charge of such experienced and responsible people. Consider my fears eased. The previous council ended tragically. You think this one will fare any better?
I certainly hope so. We'll start by implementing meticulous internal controls, peer reviews and such.
You'll spy on each other? That's nothing new.
It's necessary. Lack of oversight, that's what caused all the previous organization's failures.
You mean it wasn't excess ambition and lust for power? Live and learn, I guess.
Your Excellency knows well that our hosts are libertines and eccentric.
Greetings.
Here to see the show. It's cancelled, indefinitely. We're now in the services sector.
What service do you provide?
I was once a good swordsmith, or at least it looked like I might be. A riot came through, took my workshop with it, but the skill remained. I actually prefer swallowing swords to hammering them, but that upsets my wife.
Give her my best.
You can do so yourself. She's Ilona, the bearded she-elf.
Ah, and how's life with a bearded she-elf?
Pretty normal. We don't generally bring our work home with us. Come back and see the show one day.
Prepare for your final lesson. Welcome. I'm Ilona, the bearded she-elf.
Bearded?
Don't be a child. We came here to perform, but this place is a circus in itself. Nobody's interested in us, so we're on to plan B, trade.
What do you sell?
Food. Fresh. Very good. You want to buy something, or are you waiting for my beard to grow out?
Fine, I'll bite. Show me your beard. I'll pay your full performance fee.
That'll be 200 orans.
Final?
But you want to buy something, or are you waiting for my beard to grow out? Buy. I'll have no discussion. This will be a practice.